Why don't we start? I'll do a symbol of starting the meeting. You like?
Nice. All right.
We'll do 3.
Nice job.
The meeting start at 7:04. Okay. All right. So, I'm sorry, Smith, were you about to say something? No? Okay. All right. So let's see if there are any public comments. I don't see anything in the Q&A. Anything that you can see, Jim, in terms of public comments? There we go. Now I can see everyone a little bit.
John said there's one attendee, but no comment. You know, there's no comment from him, and I didn't receive any emails before the end of the day today. So,
Okay. All right. So let's go on with reviewing the minutes. What did I see? I turned off that light so it wouldn't be so bright, but it's a little bit hard to see now. So we'll see how we do. The only thing I saw like a little typo in the minutes in the first paragraph under minutes, second to last line. It says Mika raises that the budget has passed and has a 1%. I think it was a percent sign, not present. Decrease. You see that? And there's something else. Oh, and then I had a question on the second page of the minutes. Top paragraph, 5th line down. Oh. You were talking about Vito. Vito is the custodian, is that right?
yeah, hold on. Yeah, that's correct. Vito's the custodian.
Okay, and I just got from Mika. Maybe he's coming. Okay. Okay. It's WebEx, right? That we're using. Okay. And then there was something. Oh, just in the correspondence number 10. Sorry, I read this the other day and I'm just trying to review what my question was. The commission would like for all scholastic programs not to start until October 1st. I thought that, unless I'm misunderstood, that that no rec programs would start before October 1st.
All right, no rec. Okay.
Which would be at least 2 weeks after school starts. I think that's
okay.
please.
Okay.
Did I do this out of order? Should I have done a motion first?
Well, we're supposed to make a motion. Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Let's make a motion to accept the minutes. I apologize. Do I have a motion to accept the minutes?
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes of the August meeting.
Thank you. Now we go into discussion.
I second it.
Oh, you second it, Mary. Just second it. Now let's have discussion. So what I just said was the feedback I had. Again, apologies. Any other feedback, discussion on the minutes of August 24th? Okay. All right. So are all in favor of accepting the minutes given those corrections that I addressed? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Sorry, I don't know why my camera isn't working.
Oh, you were an I, Kim?
I was an I, yes.
Smith? We didn't hear from you. Mute. That's an I. Okay. All right. All right. Great. Moving right along. All right. So I think Mika will be joining us. Let's see. You don't see him yet, right? Okay. All right. Shall I move on to chair report and vice chair report? And then if Mika joins us, we'll do it a little out of order. Are you okay with that? So as part of my report, I would like to actually just say it is International Day of Peace, with the idea that we devote ourselves to strengthening the ideals of peace. And I think that I'm going to wrap this around, the thought of where rec fits into that, right? So with recreation, we care about well-being of ourselves and our families and our communities at large, and taking care of more of our local community is really the goal of rec. And I see that very much as an act of peace and community and taking care of each other. And in terms of our health, our mental health, our physical well-being, our planet in a certain way as well. And that I think that we've been struggling. It's been really challenging to maintain this. And I think I would like to say that the rec department has really been working so hard to maintain this level of health and well-being for the community. And I thank you for your efforts. And it continues to be a challenge as we face new challenges and with school starting. And, we'll be talking about all of that tonight. How do we make it a safe and keep people well, physically, mentally, spiritually, in a certain sense. So I really thank you all for working really hard with this. Thank you to Teresa for continuing the long distance learning. Every time I pick up my phone, it seems like I see Teresa live, story time or history lesson or something. So it's really nice that there's such a strong presence in the community. That's what I wanted to say to open the meeting. Part of what I've been doing also in keeping the spirit of well-being, I like to do at least a brief check-in. I know our last check-in went a little bit long, but a brief check-in, see how everyone is doing, if anyone needs any support or, just to kind of just briefly check in. So I'm just going to go around the grid to kind of get a quick check-in. Mike, you're next to me here. How are you?
Things are good. And work is good. And it's good to see that some of the Connecticut schools are keeping COVID at bay. So, yeah, good. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Jim, I'm going to sort of just call for a second. Mika is having a hard time finding the invite. Is there any way to quickly, or can someone send Mika the invite? I don't know if that'll take you out of what we're doing. Maybe. Or if someone could just.
I'll have John DeMeos go do that.
That's great. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Mary, how are you doing?
I'm good. Things are going along nicely here.
Good. Good to hear. Good. And Smith, how are you?
Well, I'm getting to COVID rules at my job, so the kids cannot be closer than 6 feet. Closer than 6 feet. So we've had to adjust about 95% of our curriculum. So we're working on that, and then kind of taking one day at a time and working through it.
Okay. So some of your knowledge will also enhance the discussion tonight, I'm sure, being in school. Yeah, yeah. Kim, how are you doing?
We are doing fairly well. Everybody is healthy, thank goodness. Fiona's college continues to have 0 rate of infection.
Great.
Alden's organization is doing free testing all over the state. So if anybody wants any of that info, give me a holler and I can provide links to the sites.
That's great.
All is well.
Okay. Is that something that should be in the little chat that we can add? I don't know if you have access to that though, Kim.
I'm on my phone, so I don't, but I can send it around as an email to everybody. It's just I can send the link that takes you to all the different sites.
Okay. Thank you. And then we could always have that in the, I guess, next in the, I don't know, can we add that to minutes? I'm not sure how we do that. I don't know. Okay, maybe when Mika joins us, maybe he'll have a thought about that. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Teresa, excuse me, how are you doing, Teresa?
I am doing very well. Thank you for everyone asking. Christina and Christopher turn 9 months today. So I know it's, I think you said National Peace Day, but just want to remind everybody that September is National NICU Awareness Month. So if you have a friend or family member who's had a child who had to take an extended stay or any kind of stay in the NICU, and they say right now, hey, you can't come over, or hey, you got to wear a mask, or hey, you got a hand sanitizer, or hey, we're only sending pictures. Just understand that and love that and respect that, because every single day for these little guys is just catching up and trying to be healthy and living their best life. So, it's important for us to respect what families are doing boundaries wise and, love them even if it's from a distance. So, and our NICU workers and our hospitals, those nurses, those doctors are amazing human beings. And unfortunately, some of them had to switch goals because of their focus on respiratory therapy because of these babies, and, help other departments, which is awesome, but still supporting those families. So, if you see a NICU nurse or doctor, thank them, because they're probably a very special person in a family's life. I know I spent New Year's Eve, Christmas Day, Christmas Eve with our team of people. So, and we still talk to them. So, if you have a family who's going through that, just know what's going on. So we're doing good.
Yeah, they're definitely taking care of people. Thank you. It's a good reminder. And let's check in with our esteemed gentleman of the rec office. Well, and Bill is too, but one of our commissioners. Bill.
I'm well. Emily's well, but I must report the demise of a woodchuck in our yard that ate my corn. He's gone now.
Okay.
He caught COVID.
May he rest in peace.
There you go. I'm doing fine. I had a couple of procedures done, and both procedures came back benign. So
Great.
I got the results today, and I'm really happy.
Wonderful, John.
So I'm doing great.
Great news. And Jim, how are you?
You can't complain. The hips are getting stronger day by day. So it's great.
Good.
His ear hasn't grown back yet either, though.
Well, it's okay. All right. We're doing well on our end. Okay. Later on, I guess this should wait till other business. I was going to request a vote to add something to tonight's agenda. That I guess we do later. Is that right? Yes. Okay. All right. And I turn the tables to Smith, our vice chair.
I don't really have too much to add, but I do want to continue to appreciate Teresa's work and everybody else at the rec department's work for keeping on, and continue as many programs as possible. We know that all the kids really, really need to get out and to continue to exercise outside, and I appreciate all their efforts to continue to do that with everything else that we're going through. So thank you again.
Okay, thank you. All right, let's move on to the pool. Teresa, take it away.
Well, there's water in it. So right now, Mr. Adamovich and I think we're trying to figure out, I know we're trying to figure out if we are able to, potentially maybe open up on weekends or something that we can do safely. The thing that Mr. Adamovich and I are concerned about the most is the safety, and not only the safety of the people coming, but the safety of our staff. I mean, I've worked with Mr. Adamovich since I've been at the rec since I was like 4, but so that's how long he's known me for. And I've worked with Jim and John DeMeo and everyone forever. So, they're like my second family. So this, it's something that, yes, we need to be careful and we need to figure out a plan and how steps are going to go forward. I know some pools have reopened and reopened to by appointment only, or only in town, or by scheduling a lane time, no locker rooms. And we're trying to, I don't want to say take a look at ideas, but we're taking a lot of ideas from different facilities and kind of molding it into ours. Safety has always been first for us, and it will never change. It won't. So I think it's a combination of also seeing where things are going. Is there going to be a second spike? What's going on? No, we're not going to, I don't want to say live in fear, but, you have to constantly be cautious, because when you go swimming, you don't expect to bring something home to your, potentially your children or your loved ones or something like that because you went for a swim. And no, we're not trying to take anything away from the community. We're trying to add value with everything that we do, but at the same time, we have to be safe. We have to understand the people we work with. They have to be safe too. And if it's not a safe environment, that's, so I know him and I talk about, ways or things, at Jim too, to things, try to figure it out. I know WAC is doing very well. How they're running their last session they did for checking kids in was absolutely flawless, and it was extremely successful, and they're extremely thorough. And I commend them from that, because they right by the rules and what they set forward. That's it. Bing, bam, boom. You're done. You're here at the time, or kind of a combination of us taking that theory too. So I think there's also a lot of other things that we need to figure out. And also staff. So when you're not open for a while, so I'm trying to figure that out too at the same time. But the pool, besides that, it has water in it, and it's clean, and it's always clean, our pool. So, but I would love for us to be able to figure some kind of safe way, even if it's a small amount of time, that we can offer something to the community and, go forward from there. Small steps, because if anything happens, we need to be able to shut it down.
So we have the proposed schedule now to open it on Saturday and Sunday?
Yes, it's in the packet.
Right. So that's all.
So that's all. The only thing that changes in the packet is must come in bathing suit. Brad talked with Quinnipiac Health Valley, and they said we have to open up the locker rooms. So they'll have to come in, they'll use the locker rooms, they'll have to clean the locker rooms. They're not allowed to use the guard locker room because that's the guard's locker room. So they are allowed to come in, and we have to hire a custodian, and he'll have to do the locker rooms after they leave. So that changes. That's the only change in it.
So is that just once a day at the end? Or is it after each session?
No, that's at the end.
It's at the
Okay.
end.
Okay.
So,
And if you looked at it, it's, there's no charge to the members that belong to our pool from October 10th through the December 2nd, 27th. All seniors are free. And Woodbridge non-residents are $10 per session, but we shouldn't allow anybody from out of town. It should be just Woodbridge residents only at this point. And the cost of paying for this will be that we are not allowed to have anybody in the school, any adults in the school during the school time. So from January to July to June 30th, we can't have early bird or midday, and those two combined will cover the cost of the officials of everything for Saturday and Sunday swim. So it's not going to cost us nothing out of our pocket, no extra cost.
so you're saying January to June, early bird.
And midday cannot happen during the school year. The school is not allowing any adults into the building before school, during school,
I see.
and they have to only come in after extended day. If we do anything in the gym.
So you're saying if we start this schedule in October and carry it through June, it would be no cost if we.
Right, no cost. No cost. We just transfer the monies for those two programs into this program, and it's covered.
Right. What we've been expending.
Sorry, I'm echoing.
Custodian costs are covered.
By our savings during midday and early bird, it covers the cost to run this program.
Right, I understand. So I guess the question is, are we or are we making a motion? I'm out of order.
I think everybody has to mute except for the person speaking in order not to have the echo.
Okay. So, and I see Mika has just arrived. So let's discuss this and then go to Mika. So this is the proposal to run this swim program as long as there's staffing available. I understand that's an issue. We would have to open the locker rooms. We'd have to have a custodian, and the locker rooms just get cleaned at the end of the shift. So at 4:00, that's my understanding. So do we have a motion to accept this proposal before we can discuss further?
So could you please clarify, this is till December or this is till June?
This is to December 31st.
To December 31st, man.
Okay.
It would start October 10th and go to, actually on this, it says December 31st.
Yes, okay, I just saw it. Thank you.
And, okay, so we should present this as is. Do we need to include the caveat as part of the motion that should there be concerns about an increase in COVID or any signs of COVID increasing in the school facility, that we would need to relook at that with the potential to close down the program?
Yes,
Yes.
you have to.
Yes.
Yes.
So do we have a motion to accept this proposal?
And Jim, one more clarification. So that's six people in the pool per time period?
Yes.
Correct. One per lane. Yeah, one per lane. There's 6 lanes. Yes. So 6 at a time. Yes.
Thank you. I make a motion to accept.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Bill seconded.
Okay. And let's open up discussion, further discussion.
So real quick, you just said, Andrea, that the staffing is a challenging issue, or do we have staff? Do we have staff for the Saturday and Sunday?
I don't know. I was hearing from Teresa, or unless I misunderstood.
So with us being closed, obviously people find employment other places or go to college. A lot of our employees are also, college students. I'm talking with a couple, but also people find employment other places, But with that being said, we also need to remember that we need to keep it to a small number of staff. With it being a schedule, because the state regulations for lifeguards to bodies is 25-1. So with this being said, with our custodian working, because if that custodian is who I believe who's working, he's also trained that we would have one lifeguard, and we need to for social distancing purposes, and also so the lifeguard would be able to, if they need to, use the facility. So we only have one person using the facility at the same time. I also feel that we need to keep it a close staff. So say you want to work Sunday and I want to work Saturday, but we also have to mutually agree to cover one another and also one other person, because if God forbid, sorry for that, but if there is something that does happen, is we're able to trace people and we're not going through a list of 10, 15 employees if somebody does get sick. So we need to keep it a small number, and also we need to, make sure Saturdays and Sundays were always difficult because people don't always want to work on the weekends. But I'm working and talking to people right now, and obviously too, we had to wait till this meeting happened to see if we have approval, because, if I line people up and say, okay, and then, hey, no, we're not doing it, I wouldn't keep answering me, if I texted you, I wouldn't keep answering me. So it's also that too. And you have to remember, I don't want to say it's young people, but we do have young people working for us.
So we're proposing to start this program 2 weeks from Saturday. Do you feel confident that you will be able to, if provided it's approved in a moment, you feel confident we can staff it?
I'm going to say to you what Mr. Adamovich has always said to me every time. He goes, well, T, you always figure it out.
Okay. All right. One other quick question. You had, there was, Rec has a lot of experience now with WAC going in and out, and that all ran okay, right?
Yes, it did. It ran very well, in fact.
Okay.
Yep.
Great.
But they also have their staff involved. We have our staff involved, so we have a lot of hands on deck. Are we going to be able to have as many hands on deck for ours? No, but ours is going to be scheduled. There's a schedule too, but it's a different kind of environment too at the same time. But, you can't just have anybody down at the pool. You have to have a certification, so, it's not like I can just, say, hey, you want to go lifeguard? So, yeah. But I'll figure it out.
If I could ask a question, just out of curiosity, how many people do we foresee serving by having it open? I think you said there was only 6 people out in the pool at any given point in time.
Well, we're going to do, I believe, 40-minute blocks of swim time. If I'm correct, I think so, Jim, right? That's what we talked about.
45-minute blocks.
Okay.
Yes, 45-minute blocks. So that
24 per session.
yeah, 24 people per day.
Question, are we gonna make like lane 1, 3, and 5 start at the shallow end and 2, 4, and 6 start at the deep end, so it's staggered, or does that really?
That's an actually excellent question. And yes, that we were actually going to do that is we were going to make lane 1 and 2, if you want to say slower or water walking, and lane 3 and 4, if you want to just say, I don't want to use the word intermediate, but lap swim, and then 5 and 6, one of the faster lanes. So if you're swimming in 6, you're in the shallow end. If you're swimming in 5, you're in the deep end. So you know what, like a crisscross back and forth. Absolutely.
Okay.
Excellent question.
Thank you.
And so it's 15 minutes between each session. Does there need to be some certain sanitizing on deck during that time?
Yes, that's why the 15 minutes is there. The 15 minutes is there for sanitation of the bathroom, the lifeguard room that we have, and on deck. Anything on deck that has to be done. So we have a 15-minute interval between each session.
Do you think 15 minutes gives enough? 15 minutes gives enough. I don't know. I don't know.
It's such a small area. It's such a small area. It's only going to be mostly the guard room. The guard room bathroom has to be done in between, and then handle on doors, and that's about it. The custodian will be right there. Jerry's going to be our custodian. He's also a lifeguard, and he'll be there to take care of that. And then it should be fine. And then and afterwards, when everybody leaves, then he does the locker room.
Yeah, we could even go one further and kind of have like a sign sheet. So if someone does use the guard room, then he sees it and knows to clean it. But if not, then he can focus on other areas.
Yeah, well, the public cannot use the guard room. That's what they have to be separate. Yeah. So they have to go up. They have to go up the thing, and only the guards use the locker room.
Yeah.
Do we have other? I guess on the bottom of this, like you have on other schedules, you put all CDC regulations to be followed during participation. That should probably be on this flyer as well, I would think. Bathing suit doesn't have an E on the end, right? Bathing suite. Just notice on the
That's coming out.
I'll correct. Yeah, and that sentence will come out anyway. Right.
The whole sentence is gone.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be using locker rooms now.
Because the locker room has to be open, so that'll come out.
Okay. Do you think? Okay. Is it something should we encourage people to wear their bathing suits, or it's not really up to our discretion to do that?
Well, I feel like they're
going
the
locker room's open.
Yeah. Because we're not letting them to come in. We're not come in super early. Like say you made a swim time for 10 o'clock, right? And I'm still swimming until whatever it is, 9:45. I'm just throwing out time. You know, you can only come in at 10 o'clock or 9:55 the earliest. So I feel like people are going to wear their suits anyways to save time.
Should we
Question about masks. Masks be worn until they get to water.
Yes, masks will be warm. Yeah, okay. To the pool deck, right? Until the lane.
Until you get down to the lane.
Until you're in the lane, yes.
CDC regulations say you don't have to wear a mask while in the water, but you should wear it to the pool deck.
And I would say in the locker room, unless people are in the shower, masks while in the locker room. Is that not right?
Correct.
Okay. So according to the schedule, so if the swim time is 12 to 45, does that mean they enter the locker room at 12, or they can come in before that time?
No, the guard out front who's taking their temperature, our pass checker is going to take their temperature as they come in. He'll not let the next group in until 1 o'clock. So at 1 o'clock they go down in. That means the other group is already out of the pool, and they're going to be allowed in till 12. And they're going to be until 1. The 2 o'clock group will sit out here and wait, and at 2 o'clock they can win.
Okay.
So it'll probably be 5 minutes. So it'll be a 40-minute swim period with 5 minutes getting to the locker room and change and getting ready.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Any other questions, concerns? This is our time. I see, Mika, you're here now. If you have any other questions, well, you chimed in. Welcome. And I'm not sure if there are any other questions from your end or anyone.
I was just going to mention this will be reevaluated for January, correct? So we'll take a look to see where everything is. Go from there.
Yes.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Just a quick question, John. I know a lot of your programs, you basically have a minimum, otherwise you can't maintain it. You don't run the program. Is there anything like that for this?
No, this is not, because we have the funds from early bird swim and midday swim, which we're not having. All the funds are there, and that will cover the custodian, that will cover the cost of the guards, will cover the cost of everything for us. So the cost is built in, so there is going to be no extra cost for running this program.
So that's assuming, I guess the assumption was when the budget was set that we'd be able to start up the pool in January, right? So you're kind of not really borrowing ahead of time. It ends up that it all evens out because, as you said, it's no additional cost. It's just starting to pay for that earlier than we expected. Is that right?
That's correct, but we will not have anybody in the building, I know, the entire year. The school will not let adults into the building while the children are here, so our early bird swim and our midday swim will be closed all the way through till the summer.
Yeah.
And then in the summertime, we will set the next budget. We'll have monies in the next budget to open up again like we usually do.
And even if they did say we could come in, we don't have a custodian on during the noon time anyway, so we wouldn't be, in fact, be able to run the program. So even if like things change that way, we don't have a custodian to clean. So
I understand.
it would look like that definitely would be canceled.
Okay. And how do we address this in terms of evaluating COVID? If there's an increase in COVID or some sign, luckily so far I understand the beach year has been good as far as I know. If there's any sign of COVID happening within the student population, I'm just throwing it out there. How does that impact this decision about the pool?
I personally think we should go by the school. So if they end up going distance learning themselves, I think we need to then reevaluate where we stand on the public coming into the pool, because we're not in the business of being unsafe. It's just not, it's not what we do. So it's just that simple. So I think if the school goes to distance learning, then we should probably reevaluate where we stand, and then maybe just have a special meeting if we need to.
She's absolutely right, and that's the reason being is that if they have a COVID crisis, the school itself is their whole building. It's not just one part of this part; it's the entire building. And the school, if they shut down, will shut down the entire building. So our programs would have to shut down also in that situation for safety. Teresa's absolutely right.
Thank you. I really appreciate the thoughtfulness around this discussion. We're in uncharted territory, so it's not a quick discussion. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions, concerns before we really make a motion to accept this proposal? No? Okay. So, let's make a motion to accept proposal to
It's already been, I think Smith made the motion and Bill DeRosa seconded.
Oh,
Right, so you just have to go all approved.
And then we had discussion.
right. Oh, right. Oh, we do this out of order again?
No. No, that, you did it correctly.
I'm way up.
You had a motion, you had a second, and then you had
Now the vote.
a discussion, now you vote.
Okay, now we vote. Okay, now we vote. We're voting to open. We're in this together. We're voting to accept this proposal to adults, and adults being what age?
18.
18?
18 and older. Saturday, Sunday swim. 12 to 4 p.m. Slots. Have their temperature taken. One person per lane. The lanes will be staggered such that 2 people aren't next to each other starting at the same time. Is that right? And that people will wear masks to and fro the pool and in the locker room unless they are in the shower and or happen to have a waterproof mask. Then they can be in the shower with that. Can we take a vote on this? All in favor? Raise your hands or unmute. Yeah. Unmute. Yeah. Did I hear an aye from Kim?
Aye.
Aye.
So moved. Okay. As promised, we took care of this, and then we were going to come back to Mika and any liaison discussion you have, presentation you have, Mika. The floor is yours, and I will mute so I'm not echoing.
Thanks, Andrea. The Board of Selectmen did meet our last meeting. Let's see, what was that date? On September 9th. And a couple of things came out of it. The Eagle Scouts, there's 2 Eagle Scouts project by James Fortin and Jack Catalina, one for Trail Bridge on the trail between Sanford Road and goes into Bethany. I think it's Bethany Farms. And Jack Catalina is doing a dog park sign and bench over at the dog park. Additionally, we had a presentation delivered, recommendations delivered by the ad hoc Thomas Darling Advisory Committee. In terms of most of it centered around the schoolhouse that's in pieces in the barn. The intent and the hope is that they can clean out the barn and start to get access to some of the materials that are in there that seem to be quite old and would be great for displaying, etc. Also, the Historical Society was granted permission from the board for a state grant, and we approved a caretaker's lease. There were a few adjustments that Jerry was going to make on that. Massaro Farm received permission for a state grant as well. There was a presentation on the firehouse, which includes actually the firehouse and a shed for the fire department, so that they can move their materials and their apparatus that are currently at the old firehouse across the street, which would make room. Obviously, this has an impact on this commission in that the plan is still to look at a fitness center in that space. So that space will be utilized for all town functions, and there will not be any fire apparatus located in the old firehouse once that's completed. What else? Betsy, there was a request to hold a 5K run over at the Country Club of Woodbridge in late October, early November, and that was approved. Alexatis resigned as fire commission. He was a chair of the fire commission. He resigned from the fire commission. He's moved out of town. And that was about it for pertinent type of information. Is there anything that you have questions on or are interested in knowing?
Mika, I'm in with Chris Dickerson, and we're talking about that race is going to be dedicated to the Woodbridge Road race. We're going to work on it together, and it's going to be a dedication to the Woodbridge Road race and be part of it. So we're going to be hooked up with him.
Great. That's exactly what I was going to ask.
Yep.
Sounds great. That's all for that. I thought it was a great idea, and I'm glad to see somebody's working that type of thing, and I hope it works out real well.
And when will that race be?
Did not have a specific date. They just said late October, early November is the only thing I know, Andrea.
Okay, thanks, Mika. Is that the sign? I saw some kind of sign in the center of town about a race. Is that related? Or there's like a small.
I don't know.
I don't think so. I don't think Chris has started advertising yet.
I can't remember what it was called. I feel like there's something October 9th. You don't know about that?
No, I know that there was something else that was requested, but I thought that had already passed and they did not go through with it for a number of reasons, but I don't know about something on the October 9th.
I might be off.
The schools. Like last year, I think Amity had a race the same day as us. I think that's going to be their race this year. I mean, I'm not for sure if that's the same thing, but I heard they're having their race this year, and that sign may be for that road race.
Okay.
Mika, John, is the fire department having their Halloween activity?
Didn't get any specific information on that, Smith. It's a really good question. There was nothing discussed or mentioned as far as that's concerned.
Right. I'll find out tomorrow. We have a meeting tomorrow night at the firehouse, and I'll ask that question. But I haven't heard anything yet.
Because at the end of October, I know Halloween is a Saturday, so I didn't know if that either could be connected or maybe not to the Halloween thing at the firehouse, the road race, or not at all. But I didn't know if there was interference with scheduling.
Yeah, no, I don't think that'll be connected. But I think the Halloween hoot, something to do with the Halloween hoot. I know Barbara Gina Hearn is talking with Chief Rowland about having a drive-through Halloween hoot, setting up different things, and I think she wants the fire department to be part of that and set up you hand out stuff. So they're working on something like that right now. I know.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a good point because it gets really packed, at the firehouse. That would be challenging. The other thing is the fireworks are always a big, amazing display, but that's also something that impacts the area around the dog park. I know there can be lots of little remains from fireworks. So I guess that's a discussion to be continued. Okay. Anything else, Mika, or any other questions for Mika?
Just want to apologize for having been late.
It's okay. Thank you. Welcome. Next, let's personnel. I guess there's nothing in personnel right now.
No personnel.
And then we have the director's report. John, take it away.
Okay. So far, everything is going okay. The outside facilities are being used. I've been monitoring the facilities like this, and I've been going there. And we're going to close the basketball court at November 1st. We'll keep it closed. We have it open right now, and we're gonna close it at the end just for pure maintenance. A lot of people are using it. A lot of people are not from the town of Woodbridge. We haven't really enforced anything like that, but we do enforce the mask rule. We do have somebody there enforcing it and reinforcing everything. And go there, and the soccer leagues are playing. They're doing a good job. The soccer leagues. I did go to the baseball field yesterday, the softball fields, and I watched the softball game. I was a little upset, and we're going to call that coach again. They're supposed to wear masks. That's a CIAC rule that if you're playing any type of sport and you're on the bench players have to wear a mask. Nobody was wearing a mask for either team. The parents weren't wearing a mask up on the top of the hill. I go down to the other field where the parking lot is, and both teams have masks on in the dugouts. They both have masks on, and the people were separated in little parties, like little family groups. Everything was followed correctly. I went over to the playground area. People had their masks on, and kids were playing over there. So I think it's just an instruction that we have to give to some of the coaches that if they're going to play on a Woodbridge field, and these are the travel teams. Now, the Woodbridge Woodbridge Baseball League, the Fathers League, they follow all the directions. They're excellent at doing what they have to do. These are the travel teams that come in. And I think maybe we should take a look next year at travel teams, because we should have a rule of 80% of the teams should be from Woodbridge, and not, like 2 players from Woodbridge, and then the other 12 players are from all over the state. We have a regulation we always had that on our Sunday morning leagues, our softball leagues, or any leagues we had, that it had to be 80% Woodbridge residents on the team, and you can have the other 20% as out of town players, whatever. So I think next year we have to take a really good close look at that and not allow teams that are travel teams that are not representative for the town of Woodbridge. That's my thought. That's one.
Hey, John.
Yes.
Quick question. People know that this is the way it's supposed to be, and thank you for monitoring that. Would it help if we had more signage at the fields?
Mike, I have a ton of signage. I'm unmuted.
You're on mute.
Yeah, I have a ton of signage up. I went today and I made sure the signs were up. I always check the signs. I replaced a couple of open sun up to sundown. I go around. I explain to them everything is fine except for the travel teams. I think they're doing a really good job, except for those travel teams, because they're not part of Woodbridge as far as I can see. But just a few players are. So we just have to get in contact with them, and I will. Because last week one of the travel teams showed up on the Amity High School while they were there and went on the field, and the Amity High School was very polite by moving over a little bit, but talked to the coach and he apologized. But it's the same coach, it's the same travel team, so we'll get on top of it. We'll get them. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. 80% live or work in Woodbridge. I forgot to say, you could work in Woodbridge, but work in the town of Woodbridge. I could be considered, you could be on the team. So live or work. The tennis courts, we're getting tons and tons of permits. People are following the rules and regulations on that, and everybody's using the court. And the other day, I had to send somebody down there for the softball, for the softball thing to check it out, but he was there and somebody asked him a question about people were on the court, and they came and said, we have a permit. So he just walked over, my supervisor walked over and said, these people have a permit. And the guy says, okay. And they got off the court and they said, how do you get permits? And we explained to them that, they're no charge. Just come to the rec office and sign up for your time. And people are really starting to follow the rules and regulations of that. We're getting tons of permits, and everybody's getting times, which is good. And the next thing we're trying to do is we're trying to open up a Saturday program. We'd like to open up Woodbridge Recreation going back to when I was a kid, was just a Saturday program. So I was trying to open up I put together a little bit of a program. I sent you
the packet.
It's a non-touch frisbee, flag football, and stickball type program. And in the soccer and the football, you'll see the regulations here. There's no touch, there's no play, there's no tackle, there's no anything. It's just a passing catch type of game. Working. It will be on Saturdays. John DeMay will be running it. I'll be there supervising it, and we'll run that. And the stickball, each individual player will get their own stickball stick. So nobody will be using sticks. They each get their own individual stick. There'll be 2 courts, 3 on a team. So we only have 12 a session, and that's it. And that's what we're going to run, and keep it small, keep it simple, and just get started and get some programs back out there outside. And basically,
Quick question about the programs. They look great. They look fun. I'm just wondering. I know it's been challenging for athletes and kids and students to wear masks while participating in activities. But as it gets cooler, is it unreasonable to try to wear masks not only to and from the car and the field, but while playing?
No, that's a good point. That's a good point. If it gets cooler out and it's not hot, I think they can absorb, breathing through the mask. So as it gets colder, because this is in October, we're running this October to November. That's a good point. We could do that and say, okay, it's cold enough today. And if you have trouble breathing, you could take your mask off, and we'll try to get everybody to wear a mask. Yeah, good point.
John,
Yes.
you have a bit of concern. Of stickball bats. About the kids sharing.
Kids sharing frisbees. If I'm sharing frisbees.
The frisbees are going to be they'll be cleaned in between. Using them the sessions. I don't know. Maybe we'd have to give them their own frisbee. We'll put a name on it. And well, you have to pass it back and forth. You have to pass it during that. So during the game itself, we'll have hand sanitizer. We'll have a table with all the stuff like we had for the summer program sitting there. We'll use that all before we go down to the field, taking their temperature, everything. And then they're using it. And then at the end of the day, everything gets cleaned and put away. I think if their hands are clean, I don't,
It's amazing that every school that I spoke, districts have different regulations. My kids cannot. So I think that's just a feature. But yes, I'm still cleaning every day.
I didn't really get all that, Smith.
Let me just say, I just got back in. Our internet went down. So I just. I'm afraid. Can we summarize?
Real quick, Mary was sharing some insight about sharing equipment. However, the echo was so bad, I couldn't catch any of it. So I don't know if you want. I'm going to mute real quick. I don't know, Smith, if you want to try sharing that again. Now you're muted.
Sorry. There's so many discussions around in the phys ed departments and the state level about sharing equipment or not sharing equipment. So schools don't really know what to do because there's not any direction. There's not any uniform direction. So, but I know John expressed concern about sharing bats, but I'm wondering if there should be a concern about sharing frisbees.
Okay. In the game that they'll be playing, there will only be one frisbee on each field. There'll be one frisbee, and that'll be the whole gist of it that they'll be doing. They'll do exercises and everything before, I guess, and then they'll be playing a frisbee section. That's part of it, but we're going to go to I don't think we're going to have frisbee in that. That was just so we could throw that in or take it out. It's going to be soccer, okay, which is using their feet and hands like this, but limited to what they do. And then the stickball session is because they bat so many times, they come up so many times, they grab the same stick, they'll keep their own stick. And then in football is the same thing. We'll be using football, but we'll only be using the football like during the game. There'll be a game like football thing. So it's limited to the number of pieces of equipment that we have. I understand what you're saying. So we're limiting the number of pieces of equipment. If that helps. Is your eye okay?
So, I'm sorry, I know I missed a bunch there, but so is there an issue with sharing? So I'm hearing that it'd be limited equipment. Is that still an issue, sharing any equipment? Or is that what you were kind of discussing as well?
Frankly, it kind of
That's what we're discussing.
it kind of depends.
That's what we're discussing. We're thinking about the sharing of equipment and everything like that. We could always tweak it. We could always check it. I'll be there every week and we'll see how it works, I guess, if you know how it goes. But the equipment is going to be sanitized, is going to be clean. The kids coming out of the field, you know, have their hands clean and have their temperature taken. And we'll go from there. And if we feel that, you know, there's too much intertwined between using of equipment, then we'll limit it to the number of pieces of equipment that we have. We're going to have to keep evaluating. It's brand new to everybody, so it's brand new to us. And we're going to try to do it softball. They don't change the softball. They use the softball. The pitcher throws to the catcher throws it back. They hit it. They throw it around the field. And they never change the ball. It's allowed to, you know, allowed to be played with. So I look at that situation, you know. But we'll have to tweak it. We'll have to see how it works. If we have a problem and or anything like that, we'll change it.
Will there be a thermometer there to take
Yes.
temperatures before the game?
Yes, there'll be a thermometer there before the game, and if you store above a 99.9, then you're not allowed back in under CDC rules. You have to get medical clearance before you can come back. And if there's a problem like that, they can't get medical clearance or something, we'll just give them their money back, whatever like this. We'll refund or put it towards something else at rec. But yes, we have the same one we used tonight.
So I guess the concern, even though we're not, for football, people aren't gonna be tackling each other, but with playing the game, people are gonna be in close to each other, right? They're gonna be, you know,
There's three players on it. There's 3 players on a team, and one's the quarterback, one's the hiker for the other team. The defense has a hiker. The hiker hikes the ball to the quarterback and does not do anything but stand there and counts to 10. And if the quarterback doesn't throw it by 10, it's considered automatically down. People going out for passes, yes, they may come close, but they're moving. They're outside. They're not in an enclosed area. And when they catch the ball, there's no touching. There's no touching. So as soon as you catch the ball, you stop and you're right there. So the person can't touch it. They can try to catch the pass. And usually the kids, you know, get broken up. We wait till somebody's open and they throw the ball. So they're not on top of each other at all. But if they do get close, they are outside. And like Mike said, if it's cool out and everything like that, and we can wear masks, we'll have them wear masks. And then that'll solve every problem.
Oh, you talked about that.
Yeah, we talked about that. The masks restrict breathing like that, and that's why when you do competition, you do not have to have a mask on the field. But Mike had a good point. If it gets cool out and you can breathe through the mask and it's cool outside, why don't you just wear it? And so we'll try that. We'll try to monitor and everything, and John will be on top of it because he's going to be he'll have 3, and there'll be a supervisor on the other field with 6 kids. So they'll be separated, and I'll be there, you know, making sure I take the temperatures of everybody that comes in.
And football's not until the later session anyway,
Yeah,
so.
but it's not until
by then,
November,
there
so
should
it's going to be
wearing a
freezing
mask.
out. It's going to be freezing out then, so they should probably be able to wear the mask during that easily. But during stickball, you don't need a mask because we have the batter. We have it marked off already where the batting area is, and then the other 2 players have spots where they sit, and they're 6 feet apart, and they're about 10 feet away from the batter, and they rotate. And the outfield, they're on either side of the court. The 2 defenders are on either side of the volleyball court, and then one player's back deep by the fence. They have their own area that they have to stay in, and that separates them about 10 feet apart, all of them. And soccer will be on the field using the soccer. Soccer is, you know, basically the way it is. It should be fine with soccer.
So the football is obviously a very modified football game, and it sounds like, you know, the rules that are in place will help a lot in terms of, no contact. Soccer, though, is it going to be 6-on-6, and is that going to be more challenging in terms of bumping into each other and everything?
No, it'll be 3-on-3. There'll be a goalie in each goal, and then the offensive and defensive players, 2 up, and that's it. There's only 3 on the front.
Okay, thank you.
6 would be too many. 6 would be too much to be too tight, too close. especially in the small field we have at Beecher South. We're doing this all on Beecher South Field. So we're just going to play 3-on-3.
Okay, and the football. So in the description or the flyer, do you have the specifics written out so that it's really clear and that the families who are signing up really know what's what? We would want, make sure people understand.
Yeah, it's we put the rules and regulations. Mike asked me to write it up. I wrote the whole thing up here. 3 per team, passing only, quarterback can't run over the scrimmage, 1 defense player hikes the ball. Everything that I just explained is all written down right there.
You're right. I'm sorry.
You're right. 3 catches. There's no running for a first down. Just 3 catches a first down. And if you feel you can't make it, you can call a quick kick, which means you don't kick the ball. You just take the ball and put it down on the other team's goal line, and they have to start from their goal line. And so there's no contact, no kicking, no anything.
You're right. It's right here in front of me. I remembered reading and then I didn't see it just now. You're right. It's right here. Thank you. The question that I had when I was reading through this, I did see it, John, was for question point number 11 about all equipment is clean and disinfected before each session. Should it be disinfected before and after each session? Just to be really
well
extra.
If you're cleaning it after the first session, that would be before the second session. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So words like that. So that's what it means. It's good to clean it. Yes, it's before and after. So
Okay.
we play with it.
Okay.
Then it's clean before the next people use it, and then they use it, and then it's clean after, but before the next people play. Yeah.
So maybe you should just say that. There. And then
Before and after each session. Okay, we'll change that before and after each session. That's fine.
Thank you. And then for number 30, it was just a language thing. Anyone with a temperature over 89. I just thought it should say anyone with it. It was minor.
Anyone?
Anyone?
Anyone with a temperature over 99.9. Maybe I'm just splitting hairs. I mean, you wrote any temperature over 99.9 will not be allowed to. Yeah, if you wouldn't mind just adding anyone with a temperature over 99.9. It was just a little tiny tweak.
No.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
Thank you. So we're the Frisbee, this is still to propose. I know I came in at the tail end when you said something about the Frisbee. It still would include the non-touch Frisbee, is that right?
Yeah, that was just an alternative. That was an alternative one. We don't have to do that one. That was just an alternative that we were going to add in there in case you wanted to, but we don't have to do that. I see the point about with the Frisbees and throwing them like this and everything like that. It might be a little tougher to coordinate with this, but I think we're all set with soccer, stickball, and football.
Okay. Do we need to vote on this at this point? I assume someone made a motion when I was out of commission.
I move we accept the proposals as corrected and edited.
All in favor?
And we need someone second.
All right, hold on. And the caveat that again, if there's an COVID, we would, reevaluate what we're doing here. If there's an increase in COVID cases. Yeah.
I would think that the same kind of guideline as the pool, even though it's not indoors, if there is a spike to the point where the schools move entirely to online, we certainly might consider suspending our program. I don't know if that's an absolute or
I
something
agree.
that we have to beat about.
if the school closes because of a spike in the COVID, then also outdoor activities on the school property should also be canceled, to be closed. Because it's the same kids.
So Billy made a motion to accept and to,
I second it.
okay. And all in favor?
Aye.
I
Aye. Kim, are you? Aye, you're aye. Okay, thank you all. Thanks. Just going back to the pool for a moment. So we had all the discussion, however, our next meeting isn't until October, what? October 26th. October 26th, and we were talking the 10th. However, staffing needs to be hired. So this would mean either we'd have to have a very brief special personnel.
Andrea, I have 100% confidence in Teresa getting the personnel to do it. She's excellent at what she does. She has a lot of connections. She's well known, and we'll get it covered.
So
If not, Teresa and I will have to be out there.
okay, so should we?
We're
Okay,
both
so
certified.
should we? So maybe we should vote to approve. Well, actually, we did. Boy, let's think about this.
Andrea,
Yeah.
I'll get it done. Don't worry. I'll have personnel that we already have. I get it done. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I was just thinking, do we need to approve the personnel, provided, they meet all the qualifications? Do we need to do a pre-approval personnel? Do you know what I mean? I'm not sure.
My ideal is hoping that we have some kids who are doing remote learning from college. And and they'll be like, hey, we want to spend some awesome time at the pool on the weekends.
Sure.
That's the place to be.
So hopefully that'll work out. Yeah. So just to not slow down the process, are we able to, provided you find the personnel to cover the pool, that we approve the pool to start, provided that is all in place for it to start October 10th? Normally we approve personnel. That's the only, I'm not, I trust your expertise, just in terms of procedures. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. So, to be honest with you, my first goal is to find people that we already have on payroll. That is my first goal because they're already on payroll and we're not taking up any more of our resources, either town-wise and also recreation-wise, of doing background checks, processing paperwork, things like that.
Okay, perfect.
So my idea is to first go through everybody we have who's already on payroll, and then go from there.
Okay, great. So it wouldn't require any new hiring. Hopefully it won't require new hiring. If it comes to a point that you think it requires new hiring, then we can kind of take it from there. And if we have to have a very brief special meeting to approve that, we can cross that bridge when and if we come to it. Does that sound okay to everyone? Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to belabor the point. I just want to make sure we're good. Okay. Thank you, Teresa. What's next? How far did you get here? Program, sports, financial report.
Financial.
What's that?
We're good. We're not spending anything.
Yeah.
We're not taking any money in, but we're not spending anything.
Yeah.
I mean, the income that you see, that's from WAC, the 5,354. That was from WAC rental in the summer, and I guess the central rental, that must be the daycare income. So, I mean, that's all the income we have right now.
Okay. And do we have a plan with WAC actually? in terms of the income and?
Yes. Yes, we have a full plan. We have a full fall program starting
29.
the 29th of September, running the program and having them come into the pool. And they'll be covering 90% of the program. I tried to help them out a little bit. Dave and I got together a little bit, and they really put a lot of money into this. They've really stepped up to the plate. So I decided to help them a little bit with the pass checker and recreation. We have that position open and the money's for it. So we'll pay for the pass checker who takes the temperature and everything on them. And they'll pay their full share. They'll pay 90% of it, and we'll pay the other 10%.
Okay.
Which we have enough money for.
Okay. And do we have a schedule?
Yes.
The 29th to the
Hold on.
September 29th to December 23rd.
Monday through Friday.
Okay. Monday through Friday after
After so 4:30 is it? 4:30?
Yeah, we're waiting for Dave. That's
Dave, it's
the
either
thing.
4 to 8 or 4:30 to 8:30. He's
Okay.
gonna get back to us. He's gonna poll his team and see what it is and see which one they want to do. It's one of those two, but we're all set. The custodians are all set. We have everybody all set, ready to go. And the pass checker are ready to go. We're just gonna, as long as you guys approve it, we're all set. And they're excellent. I gotta be honest, the WAC really stepped up to the plate. They're following the directions better than anybody that we ever had. Dave Riley is number one in my book. He really did a fabulous job, and he's making sure it happens because he doesn't want to lose it. He doesn't want to have one kid mess it all up for all the kids. So he's on top of everybody. If you're 2 minutes late and you can't get in, you don't come in. You go back home. So
Okay.
he's strict. And it's funny, the people, as soon as you find out it happens like this, it's happened to one person, nobody wants to get that way. So everybody starts following the directions. And the parents picking the kids up, fantastic.
Good.
Coming to get the kids.
Good. Excellent. So I know I a little bit with this agenda. Do we need to vote on anything with regards to WAC? Or was that all?
I don't think so with WAC, because WAC is a part of our program. We're monitoring their times. They have all their times to set up, so we're just monitoring the times.
Okay.
Just switch them around a little bit.
Okay. Thank you. Any policies, procedures?
No.
No policy and procedures.
Any?
And no correspondence.
Correspondence.
No correspondence either.
And I did want to take a vote on adding other business discussion, reading an email for the public, so that the public has access to. So I'd like to propose.
Andrew, before you do that, could I just ask John a quick question?
Of course.
John, at what point do we evaluate and assess the possibility of basketball in January?
Yeah, if you repeat that, Smith, we didn't hear
We
you.
didn't get the whole question.
I said, at what point do we evaluate having the youth basketball programs in January?
Yeah, I think in December, we should sit down and look at what the culvert is, see what it is in Connecticut, see what we are doing like this. And the best we could do is a Saturday program, and we could look at trying to put something together. Yeah, it might be a Saturday and Sunday program, try to get the leagues in. In that situation.
I know a lot of kids that are involved in that program.
We'll sit down maybe in November, late November, like around just before Thanksgiving or something.
Yeah.
We'll sit down and go over and see where we're at and see what we can do and so we come up with, and we'll put together a program if we can.
Okay.
That's good. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So can I have a vote to add this one last item on the agenda, just to make public an email to read that now from our last, as related to our last meeting. All
Andrea,
in-
actually, I think that would come under correspondence, no?
Under correspondence, I think,
Yeah.
that's what I said, under correspondence, you could just put that in.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, okay. I thought I had to get a 2/3 vote on, because it's kind of, oh, is that true? Because it's new, it's kind of new business.
If you're going to do a
Oh,
vote,
it's
if
okay.
you're just reading it,
I was reading it and gonna make another comment about it.
then it's new business.
New business. Okay. So I need a vote on that. All in favor, either raise your hand if I don't see you.
Aye.
Okay, so we have a vote. Okay, thank you. All right, so somebody from the public had emailed me about an email that was sent. So I'd like to read that email because I think actually everyone was on that email. But just to make sure that it's out there and that because we made reference to it in the meeting of August 24th. So I'm just going to read that. Let me get that. So this was on Monday, August 24th. Commissioner Mike Helfenbein sent an email at 11:29 a.m., which was the same day as our meeting, our last commission meeting. He addressed it to Jim and myself. So it says, Jim, Andrea, I know it's too late to add to the agenda, but we need to consider discussing as a commission overall field access and programs in general. I, for one, voted on field requests with the thought in mind that activities would only be conducted when and if it was safe. As it stands now, seeing the COVID-19 spikes across the country with a huge influx of people into Connecticut attending universities, with a large population of Woodbridge residents involved in higher education, I am not in favor of any in-person activities at this point. Signed, M, for Mike. So so I just want to read that, and then Jim had said that this is something that we have programs and sports on the agenda, and also since this is a regular meeting, it can be voted onto the agenda under item 11, other business, which actually we did not do that meeting, and that was probably my error. So just wanted to read that so that the public is aware that was the discussion that was had. We certainly, in the context of that meeting, all of our meetings, we've been talking a lot about how to handle these requests. So there's nothing that we haven't discussed, openly here. But it's a reminder that us as commissioners may not discuss any issues of substance as related to rec commission business. If there are two or more commissioners, of course, we can speak to John and the staff, but all business should be conducted within the meeting. And what I was going to request is that at our next meeting that we have included in the agenda a discussion of the Freedom of Information Act, and either our town attorney or a state FOI rep could be invited to come to the meeting, and that we could add that to our October meeting. Thoughts, discussion, questions? Okay, thank you for listening. And it's just, I think we're all on the same page with all of this, so just wanted to do that. And so Jim, next meeting, let's coordinate around having someone from about the FOI just coming. And I think most of us have gone to a Freedom of Information meeting. If not, the next time it comes around, we should attend it, but it's just a good reminder. And I have no other business.
Andrea, this is Kim.
Yes, Kim.
I just wanted to say that I was able to paste into the chat box the links to the free testing. So.
Yes, you're right. Yes, I saw that. Thank you. Did everyone see that? So that would be something that could yeah, thank you. I meant to make note of that.
You're welcome.
Jim, can that go in the minutes, that added link that Kim included in our chat?
Yeah, yes, John, all right, John DeMeo sees it, so yes, we can include that in the packet, yes. I mean, in the minutes, yes.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Thanks, Kim. Thank you, John. Okay. Any other issues? Our next meeting, as you said, it's October...
Yeah, October 26th.
October 26th.
Jim, did a meeting go out with the WebEx invitation?
Yes.
I'm sorry, email. Did an email go out? Could you just check to make sure that I'm on it? It's probably I just put it somewhere where I shouldn't have, Jim, but just to be sure that I'm included on that.
Oh, yeah, and the WebEx invite, yeah. Oh, yeah, I believe it was on, but yes, we'll make sure.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Great. Thank you. Thank you all so much for your participation and keeping everyone well, and wishing you and your families, the community at large, well, and we'll be talking. Take care. Thank you. Meeting adjourned at all in favor of adjourning the meeting?
Was there a
Aye.
motion, Andrea?
A motion to adjourn the meeting. Thank you. Thank you. So we have motion. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Take care. Be well. Adjourning the meeting at 8:31.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Take care, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.